All right, now I'm recording.
Cool. Hello and welcome to episode 254 of the Thinking LSAT podcast in Vienna, Virginia. This is Ben Olson. With me is Nathan Fox. Where are you?
I am in Los Angeles at the moment. I just
Okay.
came back from Oakland yesterday, visiting some friends up there, and now I'm getting packed up finally to get out of here.
To move.
I'm getting out of the city, man. Yep.
Okay. When
I'm
are you
done.
moving? Like a week or something? Or
End of the month, but I've already like gotten rid of half of my stuff basically. Moving sucks.
moving sucks, but getting rid of stuff, that's
Dude, my last few
feels good.
moves, I've moved a lot in the last few years, but I've had movers
Yeah.
every time. And so I've
Mhm.
basically just accumulated a bunch of shit. And this time I'm
Mhm.
like, nope, it's time to kind of reboot on almost all of my stuff. So I'm just like giving the plants and stuff, giving them to friends, just getting rid of like almost everything. It's crazy how much just trash you accumulate.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, today on the show, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We got an announcement yesterday from LSAC that the August LSAT is a flex test. Not too much of a surprise there. We also got another announcement about their new feature score preview. We're going to talk about LSAC's PPP loan. Yes, they got one. Um, we have an email from the John Marshall Law School re the flex test. I wonder what they have to say. Will the flex affect my admissions if I'm applying in 2023? Okay, that's a question we'll have
That's
to grapple with.
far forward prognostication. I don't.
Let's hope you change your mind by then.
Hey, sorry to interrupt you, but you got to get up on your mic a little bit more. You're like, coming way in and out. I don't know if it's your mic settings
Way in
changed
and
or
out.
whatever, but yeah, you got to stay on the mic.
I gotta just stay right here. Don't move.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Um, we have a quote here. Registering for the LSAT Flex is dumb. All right, I don't know. Thank you. Okay, lots of
Yeah.
things about the
We've
LSAT are
talked
dumb.
about the registration on the last episode. It is exceedingly dumb, but yeah.
Okay. We have a pearls versus turds segment today, and then we have a hopefully logical reasoning question, test 65, section 4, question 6 if we have time. This will air on Monday, July 13th. This is the week of the July LSAT Flex, so good luck to all of you who are taking it as we speak or as you listen to this, I guess, really. The deadline for the August LSAT Flex is July 15th. I wonder if that's going to change now that it's a flex test. But
I bet the
anyways,
registration deadline will stay the same. I don't think they've usually changed those.
Oh, I was under the impression that they like pushed them back a few days the last few times. So I was like,
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
anyway, that's this Wednesday, as of right now. On Friday, August 21st, that's your deadline for the October LSAT, which
We can start speculating that that'll be the flex. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that will be the LSAT Flex. We can just drop Flex, right? It's just, this is the LSAT.
That's
now.
what I'm saying. In fact, I tweeted this yesterday because I mean, I can't wait, Ben, to talk about all these new news that came out of LSAC yesterday.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
like they buried the lead. With the August is now the flex. It's like, no shit, we were already like 1,000% that you were gonna do that.
Yeah.
But then the score preview thing is crazy. They buried that. I can't wait to talk about that. But in the discussion of the score preview thing, people were asking me questions about the flex, and I'm just like, well, it's the LSAT. It's just the LSAT. That's what there is now.
Yeah.
Like the LSAT is the flex. There's no separate product LSAT flex. It's just the LSAT. And we're going to talk about that when we talk about the PPP loan thing too.
Oh,
this is great. Yeah.
Yep. And then, yeah. So Saturday, August 29th is the beginning of the August LSAT Flex testing week. They did mention in their email that most of the testing will be done that Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay.
Cool. Anyways, email the show at help@thinkinglsat.com. Send us your selfies if you're so inclined. Leave us a review on iTunes. That always helps so much. So thank you to all of you who have left reviews recently, or really ever. Thank you. Dude, let's jump into this LSAC email.
Okay, so this was the email that came out yesterday to all registrants for the August LSAT. And it says, we hope you are staying safe, healthy, and strong during these challenging times. Because you are currently registered for the August 29 LSAT, we want to share several important announcements about the August test. Given the continuing COVID-19 emergency, we will offer the online, remotely proctored LSAT Flex in August instead of the in-person LSAT, blah, blah, blah. Yep, we knew that that was coming. They've done that with the past few tests, and there's just no fucking way, Ben. Harvard University this week announced that they were doing entirely remote instruction for the entire year, 2020, 2021. Okay, I don't know if that applies to the law school, but it applies to the undergrads for sure. And when they're doing shit like that, there's no need to be gathering people together to take the LSAT in person when we have a perfectly good online. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not perfect by any means, but it is fine, right? The Flex, it works. People are taking the LSAT online and it works. It's just going to be the Flex now for.
I'm really curious what the financials are for the LSAC on the Flex. Like before, they have to pay ProctorU for each of these proctors who are presumably proctoring several students at once, but they're paying them instead of their university, fill-ins that used to do this in the past. But the logistics seem so much easier to me.
They don't have any facilities cost.
Money. Yeah,
they used
don't
to have to rent out hotel. They used to have to rent out the ballrooms. They had to rent out, like school. I'm sure they paid the campuses for having the LSAT on campus at the schools. They had to pay live physical proctors, which I'm sure that they can remotely proctor more students with fewer proctors. We've heard that the way they do it is like by committee, right? So there's actually proctors that are bouncing around from student to student to student. It's not just one proctor who's sitting there with you the whole time. They're like people come in and out on the proctoring, and it just, I mean, and they're using remote labor force.
Yeah.
Right. Like, there's no way they're using Americans for that. So they, it's got to be cheaper.
It's got to be cheaper. Logistically, it's easier. I mean, yeah, sure, they have technical headaches, but
the hardware issue is funny. Like they don't have to use all those tablets, but then again, they bought all those tablets. So that's a sunk cost for them, I suppose.
Sell them right now. If I were them, I would sell them and say, okay, we're committing to an online test. We can do it. Now do it.
Yeah, they should just announce that we're going online permanently. But it seems like they're going to continue to just roll it out one at a time. Why not? They're a monopoly. They get to keep, they hold all the cards. So if they hold all the cards, then like what they can just continue to keep the status quo. There's really no incentive for them to not do it the way they've been doing it. So if COVID is miraculously cured, maybe the September test will be, wait, is there a September test?
There's not this year. It's
October test. Sorry, you just said that.
Yeah, October 3rd. Yeah.
Miraculously, maybe the October test will be in person if there's a miraculous cure for COVID. But
think about it. Like, why the heck would you want to take that on?
Yeah.
I just don't understand. I don't understand. But okay. So what else do they tell us?
Yeah, I don't think I need to read the rest of that long ass. Okay. This wasn't in the subject, by the way. The subject was August registrants Flex announcement. But the second bullet point, and wait,
hold up. Can you read the last sentence of the first bullet point, which is italicized?
The italicized one? Oh, yeah. The second half of this email provides more detail on next steps, assistance, and familiarization resources.
Why are people so bad at writing? Like, why do they take the time to say what they're about to say?
I mean, this email has bold, it has italics, it has indented bullet points, and the biggest problem is that it has 400% too many words. Like this could have been said, and it's like, and then what happens is people don't read it, which is on them.
Yeah.
It's also got to be a hassle for LSAC because they communicate so poorly to everybody. So then people don't read it. So then they, I'm sure, get like customer service calls and
yeah. Save yourself. They could have got rid of the whole first paragraph and just said, "Dear Joe, August is now August LSAT Flex."
Yeah.
And
Potentially by design, though, because I have a feeling that they really did not want to make a splash with the
Yes.
second
So
bullet
then
point.
maybe they're deliberately poorly writing this to bury the lead. Is that what you're
I
saying?
can't believe that they're not. This seems like they should be very sheepish about this. In bold, it says, in response to requests and feedback from test takers, we have created a new score preview option for first-time test takers who wish to see their score before deciding, hold on, I have to take a breath, whether or not to keep it as part of their LSAC transcript and report it to schools.
Oh my God.
What's the word count on that?
I don't
Jesus. Hold on. Wait, where is that? I
Under
changed my
tools.
Google Docs settings so that I don't have word count easily available. Why did
Oh,
I
I
do
got it.
that to
Don't worry.
myself? Yeah, tell me what the word
Oh,
count
wait,
is
wait.
on that.
Oops. I selected the whole document. Okay, here we go. Word count is 46
Nice. Okay. That needs to be half of that. I
at
mean,
least.
yeah. Okay. So I read that and I was like, wait, a new score preview option for
What
first time
the hell
test
does that
takers
mean?
who wish to see their score? And I was like, oh, so you're just going to let first time test takers see their score before they cancel? Well,
Okay,
yeah.
that's nice of you.
Yeah, that's kind of you. And then they say score preview will cost $45 if you sign up prior to the first day of testing for a given test administration, or you may sign up during a specified time period after testing has concluded for $75.
Dude, these guys fucking print money. What the hell?
I don't understand.
It's like a button. It's a tweet. Your score is gonna be revealed. They're like, yeah, that's $45. Oh, you forgot to pay for that? That's $75.
I, I don't, yep, I don't, well, you
We
know
are in the
what?
wrong business,
I
man.
know, seriously. Yeah. Um, so they're going to, oh my God. Okay. So $45 if you sign up in advance, which I imagine so many people are going to do.
It's a default thing. It's gonna be a checkbox, and you're gonna say,
People
why
are
would
going
I
to,
not do that?
right.
My
So, I
my
mean,
future depends on this.
well, especially rich kids or even upper middle class kids, or maybe some middle class kids, just no brainer. First time taking the LSAT, definitely pay the extra $45 so that you know that you can see your score before you decide to cancel. Poor kids, well, I'll go on.
Wait, can you tell me why this is just for first time test takers?
I have no fucking idea why it's just for first time test takers. It it seems to screw the people who have already been taking the LSAT.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a new benefit that's only
That's a huge
available.
advantage. I mean, I don't know. It's not a huge advantage because they're going to take your highest score, but it's still like, think about I don't know, people him and haw over this issue.
We have to think through the actual implications of it.
Mm-hmm.
I was driving yesterday for like 5 hours on boring ass horrible I-5, which by the way might get me to stop eating beef because driving up and down I-5, you go past Harris Ranch, it is the fucking worst. Seeing that gigantic feedlot, it looks like actual hell. It's like like the sky is red from shit. It's disgusting. It's like it's just the nastiest thing ever.
Wow. Okay.
And that's like supposedly, high quality Harris Ranch, whatever. It's like, it's actual hell. I mean, it's just the most disgusting thing. Anyway, I'm driving 5 hours on the freeway and thinking about it. So I've been kind of thinking through the implications of it, right? But
Sure.
do you think this leads to more cancels or less cancels?
Probably fewer
Okay.
because people think that they did worse than they actually did, maybe. I don't know. There's holding on to that score just to be sure. I
It
don't
goes
know.
both ways, right?
Yeah.
Before this, we were always trying to talk people out of canceling. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, the upside's all that really
Don't.
matters. You should,
Yep.
if schools only care about your highest score, then you should probably just, unless you had a medical emergency or your internet went out and you weren't able to finish the test or something like that, you should probably just go ahead and keep your score, grit your teeth and keep your score, even if it's low, whatever, it doesn't really hurt you that bad.
Yeah.
That's the world we've been in. People still cancel their score, always to our chagrin, like
Yep.
we're just like, come on, really? And I'll never stop talking about the student who almost canceled her 178. Like I was able to talk her out of canceling her what turned out to be an actual 178. I will never stop talking about that. Anyway, so basically people shouldn't cancel, but it would be a no-brainer for people to check that box to give themselves the option to cancel.
Yeah.
And then
just the peace of mind. You don't have to do any of this debating.
And then when they do see the low number, I don't know, I can see it leading to more cancels. Like people who have, it's like now you've paid money to get to see your score and then decide whether to cancel.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see a lot of people being like, yeah, well, I can do better. I'm going to cancel.
Yep. I know I can do better. Even if they can't.
People tend to like only remember their high scores on their practice tests. And so, you know, like they've broken into the 170s 3 times and they get their score back and it's a 168. And I could see them being foolishly deciding to cancel because they remember that they are capable of scoring in the 170s. But it's like, well, yeah, but you're also very capable of scoring 168 and below. So why would you cancel that? You should keep it. You should still take it again, but you should keep the 168 because now it creates a floor, right? Yeah. Anyway, more details about this. So there's an argument to be made that this will result in fewer cancels, but it will also, there's an argument to be made that it will result in more cancels. It's certainly a benefit for people who can afford it.
Do you think this will change the meaning of a cancel?
That was what I was thinking on I-5 as I was meditating on how disgusting it is to eat beef and the new score preview thing. It's like, and there's a couple other things that change the meaning of a cancel, right? Yeah. We had the rollout of the digital LSAT in July of 2019.
Correct.
When they gave everybody that free cancel option.
Yeah.
See your score
and
before
that was the
canceling.
Same thing. See your score.
That was everybody who took the test got to see their score before canceling. And that resulted, I'm sure, in a giant wave of cancellations. Right? Everybody who scored anything less than what they thought they were capable of just insta cancels.
This is going to be a huge win for LSAC because now they can get, if you canceled and you're guaranteed to take it again.
The one thing I couldn't stop thinking about was all the different ways in which this benefits the LSAC, including it's not for July test takers. So imagine if you're registered to take the LSAT for the first time right now.
Oh, yeah. You say, forget it. I'm going to take it in August.
I think a lot of people are going to withdraw. LSAC
and it's
keeps
too
their
late
200.
To get your refund.
And now they re-register to take their first LSAT in August. So I wondered about the timing. It was like, if the masterminds at LSAC are thinking it through, if they're like, well, yeah, you know, we could just wait. We could announce it right before the July. So just give people still time to withdraw from July so that they could then take August. They'll pay us again to take it in August and they'll pay us extra for this.
You know, I'm having the same feeling I have toward Trump in a way. You know how like you're like, wow, like, was that like an extraordinarily mischievous, like well-crafted plan, or is this just pure random shit that happens to benefit him on occasion?
Yeah, it's like, is it evil mastermind or is it like evil by accident? I don't know. But it doesn't seem good. You know, they of course, in response to requests and feedback,
they totally
from
wanted to blame
takers,
someone else. Yeah.
Well, it's like, you mean in response to people who you're going to charge more money for this new thing, which doesn't cost you jack shit. Like when I saw the pricing, $45 if you sign up in advance, $75 if you sign up afterward. What's the possible reason for that? Why isn't it just one price? Well, the reason why it's not just one price is because this incentivizes people to sign up in advance, right? They want you to.
That's exactly why you do it. Yeah.
They don't want you to wait and see. And if you feel good about it, then I felt good about it. I don't need this. They want you to just, they want you to put the pricing incentives in place so that you have to sign up for it in advance because you want the cheaper price. Okay. So they go on. First-time test takers who sign up for score preview will receive their scores at the same time other test takers receive theirs. assuming they have completed their LSAT writing and have no holds on their accounts. And we'll have six. Why the fuck do people do that? Why do they write the word and then the numeral in parentheses?
Well, it's a contracting habit that attorneys adopted to avoid ambiguity, but the actual consequence of doing that is ambiguity, because it's like, what is this, like a bullet point number in the middle of the sentence? What? So yeah, when I worked on coaching drafting, we told attorneys to take it out.
That's for attorneys, and this is not attorney.
Attorneys.
Well, I mean, they
This
did
is an
run
email.
this through their counsel, though. Like,
Their
obviously,
legal document. Yeah. They're like, wait, make sure to put the numerical 6
it's
in
not
there.
that they're bad writers; it's that they let it go through their counsel. That's what makes it bad.
But their counsel is bad, because their counsel shouldn't be doing this.
Correct.
This is totally unnecessary.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get 6 days to decide if you want to cancel. That seems overly generous, honestly. Like, once they show you your score, you should just be like yes or no. Like 60 seconds. Like,
do you like it or not?
Decide right now.
It's like Tinder, you know. You just
yeah, swipe left or right on this, but you have to decide before you do anything else. Okay. So you got 6 days to really mull it over.
Mm-hmm.
If they take no action, their scores will be added to their LSAC file and released to schools at the end of the 6-day period. This feature will be available for purchase starting around August 1. So if you're signed up for the August LSAT Flex, you will be able to sign up and purchase this additional product. It's a service. It's an additional service. They live to serve clients.
Dude, check this out. So it says available for purchase, which of course is worry as fuck, starting around August 1st. You know, someone put on August 1st, and then someone's like, we don't know if it's exactly going to be August 1st.
Let's be careful. We don't want to. Note, this is an important note. First-time test takers who have an approved LSAT fee waiver will receive score preview free of charge. And then there's a link to where you can learn more about the score preview. So they are giving it to the people who get the LSAT fee waiver. So my analysis is unequivocal boon to people who do get the LSAC fee waiver, because they get it for free. First-time test takers on the LSAC fee waiver. Hey, LSAC fee waiver just got better. Everybody should apply for the LSAC fee waiver. They do deny a lot of people for the LSAC fee waiver, though, and it's real hard to appeal. And good luck. You should apply for it, but you may or may not get it. You might have to dig up your tax returns, your parents' tax returns. Who knows what else you'll have to provide in order to get the fee waiver. But if you get the fee waiver, then you get this new service for free.
And some other things. So it's becoming more and more valuable.
Unequivocal boon to rich kids, of which we have a lot of rich kid clients. We have plenty in the test prep industry. We have plenty of people who have unlimited money who pay us whatever to help them, not only with the test, but with all kinds of other issues. And for them, 45 extra bucks, whatever. They were already planning on taking the test 4 times, like, tack on another 45 or 75, whatever. Absolutely doesn't touch them at all. Seems pretty much bad for everybody else in the middle, 70%. I'm guessing that maybe 10% qualify for the LSAC fee waiver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that 20% don't care. $45 doesn't matter. This is just a, service that they will obviously buy, even if it doesn't really necessarily benefit them. They don't care, because it's just like, check a box. It can only be good. This can only help me. So check that box. First time test takers, absolutely. If the money doesn't matter to you, check the box. I'm advising you as a test prep professional, you should pay LSAC this additional $45 if the $45 doesn't matter to you.
Were you gonna say anything else? Because I was thinking this ups the ante a little bit for your first test. We've always told people, don't take it till you're ready. This is like one more reason.
Double, don't
'Cause
take
you
it till you're
lose.
ready,
Yeah.
because you're only going to get this option once.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I'm still going to be telling you probably don't cancel, but I'll at least be able to look at your score,
Mm-hmm.
talk to you about your practice test scores, talk to you about what you plan to do for future prep, where you're going to apply, how much money you want to pay for law school, what type of school you're going to, all that, and then decide. And then
Yeah.
I still think my advice 99% of the time is going to be don't cancel, because
Mm-hmm.
a cancel on your record can't possibly help you, but a score on record, you need a score on record to go to law school. So
Yeah.
um, I just think that it's bad for the middle 70%. That's all. Like, it's bad for anyone who isn't going to purchase it, because all it's going to do is help everybody else who is going to purchase it. And this is a zero sum game. You only benefit from a higher LSAT score at the expense of everyone else, because it's competitive to get the seats and to get the scholarships. So this is for the top 20% who give no shits about $45 or $75. It's good for them. For the bottom 10% or whatever it is, maybe less than that get the LSAC fee waiver, it's definitely good for you because you get it for free.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's totally bad for the other 70% who now are basically, it's just they raised the price of your first LSAT.
Yeah.
Like your first LSAT now costs $245, because if you're taking your first LSAT and you don't pay the extra 45, you're an idiot. Like, that's just, it's a mistake not to pay it.
Well, and it's pretty clear that almost everyone is going to end up getting this, because if you
That's what I'm saying.
are price sensitive, you're not going to get it for the $45. But after you take that test, you're walking away. You're going to be like, I want this.
We're once again in the uncomfortable position of recommending that people pay LSAC more, which we frequently are, because we're like, you should take the test again. You should take the test again. You are not ready to take the test. You should withdraw. You're not going to get your money back, but you should withdraw, and you should schedule a test down. We're like constantly telling people, oh, you should apply to more law schools. You should pay more of those $45 report fees. Like 5 schools isn't enough. You should buy 5 more of those report fees, and you should pay them an additional couple $100. We're constantly telling people that they should pay LSAC. I mean, and this is that's my analysis so far. Until I hear a better argument, it just seems like, yeah, you should do it.
Well, the financials are such that there's so much money hanging in the balance, despite the absurdity of this service, air quotes.
It's unequivocally good for LSAC. They have de facto raised the price of taking the test. They say that it's in response to people. Well, of course, people want to be able to see their score before they cancel, but why didn't they just change it and make it so that everybody can see their score before they cancel? Nope, we had to also charge more money for that.
I don't know.
Well, life ain't fair, and I'm certainly not, I'm not pretending otherwise. It's just that, like, they find so many ways to charge people, and I just can't, like, how can they keep they must not be worried about the GRE. Let's put it that way.
I think part of the problem here is that any company that charges more for a service, in my mind, in most cases, is totally justified in doing so. That's the kind of world we live in. But LSAC holds itself out as this institution that's trying to
I know.
bring legal education to
That's
everyone.
the thing that's so
like,
gross about it, is that they keep talking about justice and diversity and all this stuff, and it's like, no, you're about money.
And it's going to get worse later in this episode.
And it is going to get worse. Okay. I mean, I feel like they had to make this free for people who get the LSAC fee waiver.
Of course. Yeah.
But you know how many people are really struggling for money that don't qualify for the LSAC fee waiver?
Didn't we read an email on the podcast?
We talk to them
one
all
or
the
two
time.
episodes ago. Yeah.
People are scraping up money for their LSAT prep. They're scraping up money to take the actual LSAT. They're scraping up money so that they can apply to law schools. And then this is just like this additional, oh, by the way, first time you take it, you're going to want to kick us an extra. Okay. Next bullet point. This also matters, I suppose, not like that matters, but in response to feedback from our member law schools, we are reinstating the requirement that all test takers must have a completed LSAT writing sample on file before they will receive their score for the August Flex or future tests. Why do they always have to put in response to blah, blah, blah? Look at all three of these bullets. The first one was, given the continuing COVID. It's like, just say your thing. August is Flex. We're charging you an extra $45 now for your first test so that we could show your score before you cancel it.
Yep.
Also, you have to do the writing now before we're going to give you your score.
Oh, but wait, it's in response to feedback from our member law schools. Do you think anyone cares?
I know. I mean, I guess we could infer from that the law schools are caring more. We've heard this already anecdotally, that the law schools are caring more about LSAT writing now. Now that it's typed, word processed, that's important. That makes it more valuable to the schools. But now we have a new thing that you're not actually even going to get your score until you do the LSAT writing. Again, you don't do LSAT writing on the same day as you do your 120 to 180 LSAT. It's not scored. It's not part of that 120 to 180 at all. But now you do have to do it sometime in the 3 weeks before or any prior time. You only ever have to do it once. But you have to have an LSAT writing on file now before they're going to release your scores.
It says we will now open LSAT writing 8 days prior to every test administration. So I guess you can do it the week before or anytime after.
Great.
Yeah.
That's real easy, by the way. The LSAT writing is nothing. You can watch a 15-minute video on that, and you'll know exactly what you need to do for LSAT writing. So anyway, that is the thing that you have to do. By the way, that's also another separate fee. I can't remember what it was, $10, $15.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's required. You can't just put it all in one price. It has to be a separate, I don't know.
Even though it's necessary for you to get your score.
Okay, this, I guess, may be important for people who are registered for August. It says, because you are currently registered for the August LSAT, you may take the August LSAT Flex or opt out and receive a coupon which can be applied to any future test between October 2020 and April 2021. So they're still giving people the option to opt out of the Flex. But if you're opting out of the Flex because you're waiting for the day when there's not the Flex,
good luck.
Have fun waiting. Yeah. I mean, I'm not pushing you into law school at all, but if you're serious about going to law school in any time in the near future, you need to plan on the Flex as your test.
I really wonder what your holdup is, because the in-person test actually seems like more of a nightmare. I mean, you're going to still take it on a device. It's not like a paper-based test, and it's 5 sections, and you're with a bunch of people who are making noise. Just figure out what your hurdle is. If it's, you can't get a laptop, then ask LSAC for one.
They did bizarrely change the balance of the test. Games is not 1/4 anymore. Games is now 1/3.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Reading comprehension is not 1/4 anymore. Reading comprehension is now 1/3. And logical reasoning, which used to be half the test and is by far the most lawyerly part of the test, logical reasoning is now, instead of half, it's 1/3. So if logical reasoning was your strength, then yeah, that shifting balance really hurts you.
Yeah.
I have had a lot of people complaining. Well, I can think of one person complaining very vocally that the LSAT Flex was bad for him because because games is my weakest section, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
The one thing I do have to say to that, though, is get fucking better at games. It's not that hard to get better at games. You just have to really work. You have to work at it. Like, you just have to do it. You have to do all the games. If you do all the games, you will improve a lot at the games. So I just don't have that much sympathy for people who are like, oh, the Flex fucked me because I only get 6 points on a section of logic games. It's like, well, stop getting 6 points on a section of logic games.
Yeah.
That's just
6 points.
Yeah, seriously. It's like you're so bad at logic games that, by the way, even on the old LSAT, you still would have got a shitty score. Like, I understand that your shitty score would have been higher, but it still would have been a shitty score because you just don't get a good LSAT score with 6 points on the logic game. So it's just not going to happen.
The same can be said for reading comp. I mean,
exactly.
I know reading comp it's a skill that you have to focus on. How do you read and translate sentences? And when people say, "Oh, I just don't get it," or I read it and I don't understand it, but sometimes I totally understand it and sometimes I don't. Well, when you're not, you need to wake up and go back and reread that sentence. I highly
Yep.
doubt there are any words in that sentence that you don't understand. There are some non-native speakers who are like, "Wow, I didn't know that word. I didn't know that word." I'm like, "Wow, that's a different challenge." But for the vast majority of people, they understand each word. Okay, now put them together. Just keep practicing that over and over and over again.
Even the words that you're not 100% on, you should be able to get from context. If there is a word that really matters, it's a novel word that really matters, they always give you the definition in the passage anyway.
They'll give you
So
the definition or enough clues to figure it out.
yeah,
And yeah, I mean, and if you're like, well, but I didn't know that word, and other people don't know that word, but they figured it out, and that's what they're expecting you to
yeah.
do, and you can get better at that. It's different. It's not as concrete. It's not like we can say, oh, well, draw this or draw that for that sentence. No, there's none of that. But you can develop this skill.
Yeah. And that's generally, I mean, we got to stop, you got to control the stuff that you actually can control. So people complaining about the shift to the flex, people complain that they don't want to take it on a screen. People complain that, well, it's hard to find a quiet space at home, or they complain that they're not good at logic games. And it's like, well, okay, but this is the world we're living in. The flex isn't going anywhere. Sure, you can opt out, push, kick the can down the road a while, but boy, if you kick it down to April 2021, you're definitely not going to law school in 2021. So, it's, if you want to go to law school in 2021, you got to take the flex. That's all there is to it.
Yep.
Okay. How about this next one? This is the one that was infuriating you yesterday.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know which one this is, but I'll read it.
The PPP loan.
Oh, we're all the way down there. Oh,
Well,
gotcha,
I don't know.
gotcha,
Do
yeah.
we need anything else in this?
No, this is what this heck is. This all one email? This is
Well,
just going on.
yeah, because
and on.
that's the more detail on next steps, assistance, and
Oh, that's the
familiarization
italics.
resources. That's what
I
that
didn't.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paragraphs is about.
Okay.
Okay, so we can
Thank you,
skip all that.
LSAC.
Yep.
Okay, so a lot of companies have been in the news recently because they got money from the PPP loan program, which, if you don't know yet, is our government's way of giving out money with no strings attached, essentially. Anyways, it's a loan, right? But you don't have to pay it back as long as you keep your employees employed. LSAC took out a $5.3 million PPP loan to develop the LSAC Flex.
This is, by the way, from Above the Law, and
They're
we will
quoting
post a link
President
to that.
Testy, right?
Yeah, we'll post a link to that in the show notes.
Okay. Anyways, it says that as far as I know, those loans are intended for small businesses affected by COVID and will mostly be forgiven. Yes. LSAC is a small business? Question mark.
Well, I mean, hey, they're also giving giant bailouts to the airlines and
Oh my
to,
gosh.
cruise
even get me
companies,
started.
apparently. And just like, there's all kinds of, they really should have given this money directly to individual people who would have spent the money on the things that were important to them. But
Oh my
instead,
gosh.
they give it to the LSAC. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing is fucked up in my mind. It's so much more efficient to say, "Oh, this person is impacted. Let's give you money," as opposed to, "Let's give it to your employer so they keep you hired, and some of that money may trickle down to you." But the reality is, a lot of it's being pocketed. Okay. Anyways, I want to read this quote because this is
Yes.
from President Testy, and this is on Above the Law.
Yep.
He says the support from the PPP enabled the council, in other words, LSAC, to maintain operational continuity at a time of severe disruption due to the pandemic. Operational continuity? Like they canceled tests and then they rescheduled them. I don't know.
Yeah, the valid.
Hard for me.
Valid. Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, she continues, we were able to maintain all our vital services to schools and candidates, and at the same time develop a new online delivery system for the LSAT that enabled candidates to earn a score from the safety of their own homes and enabled this year's applicant volumes to catch up with last year's. We took out a loan to build a new product.
I really hate this. Well, I'm going to shit on that point in just a second, but
Yeah.
I really, I went to journalism school. Do you know that about me? I have a master's degree in journalism, and I hate this, the attribution of that quote right there.
Yeah.
The writer, Stacy Zaretsky, she has adopted the party line here from the LSAC. I don't think she even knows she's doing it. But
She
look,
just quoted them.
Well, she just quoted them. And then she says, Kelly Testy, president of the Law School Admission Council, commenting on the $5.3 million Paycheck Protection Program loan the council received, enabled it to develop the LSAT Flex. Oh, by the way, there's a word missing from that. It should needed a which, right? So it's also broken. But she's actually saying that this loan enabled LSAC to develop the LSAT Flex. See, that's above the law. That's this writer, Zaretsky.
Yeah.
And so
just
now
lapping it up.
Right. So Zaretsky, wearing her above the law hat, has now endorsed this claim of LSAC that this loan enabled them to develop the LSAT Flex. Ben, on any planet, do you think that this loan enabled LSAC to develop the LSAT Flex?
No.
No.
I mean, $5.3 million. The LSAT Flex should be like checking your temperature as you take the test and providing like, an assessment of your heart palpitations in coordination with all of that. I mean, this is insane. This is insane, especially since the test itself was already digital in July 2019.
They're already a $100+ million organization, right? I mean, like the amount of money that they charge students every single year, like they are a gigantic, they are a nonprofit.
They are a nonprofit,
that people get rich off of. Okay, so like the people at LSAC have to make shit tons of money. They charge and spend hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, the budget has to be $100 million. Well, am I wrong about that? How many people take it every year?
In the past, 120,000.
And they each pay $200 for that? 120,000, 1.2 million, 12 million. Okay, maybe it's only tens of millions. Maybe it's not hundreds of millions. Maybe it's just tens of millions. But we know that they're a gigantic company, and we know that they're not intending to go away. Like they were just going to go out of business. Okay, and then let's talk about this claim that it enabled them to develop the LSAT Flex. What did they do to develop the LSAT Flex?
They took away a section?
They dropped one of the 4 sections of their already existing test, and they sourced out the proctoring to this online company, ProctorU, that already proctors online tests. I can't possibly imagine how that integration cost $5.3 million or $530,000, maybe $53,000. It would cost to integrate something like that with ProctorU. ProctorU is going to charge them a lot of money for the proctoring, of course. But it's not like they, like, again, this is above the law, because above the law now has like endorsed this position. There was no development. They didn't do anything. They weirdly, without consulting anyone else, changed the balance of scoring on the test by dropping one of the 4 sections, and that's all they did. They didn't change the content at all. They shortened the test, and that apparently they needed the $5.3 million PPP loan in order to do that.
We haven't come anywhere close to spending 5.3 million, let alone anything in the millions on the demon. And the demon does way more than the fucking flex. I just don't understand. I don't understand this.
Well, anyway, uh, hey, um, we were told we got emails, right, about like you could have applied for a
Yeah.
PPP loan and I could have
Yeah.
applied with my business for a PPP loan. I was like, fine. I'd rather, like, it seemed too good to be true. As it turned out, it definitely was, because we weren't like on it fast enough. You had to like apply on the first day. I guess that's the other thing,
Yeah.
is that they must have been like tipped off. Like they knew it was coming. They were ready. They had connections where it was like, hey, we can get one of those, right? And then just like,
Yeah.
sure enough, smooth sailing.
Well, that's the thing about having money too, because you have an accountant, you have lawyers, and
Right.
they can go in and say, okay, well, this is exactly what you need to apply for.
Right.
Here's how much you can apply for. Because I remember looking at it and being like, okay, wait, I have to figure out 25% of my rent and all this stuff. And I was just like, I don't know that I need this, and I don't know what's actually going to happen. So I just said, forget it. But like, I don't know. That's why Shake Shack and companies like that, they all lined up and they all had it. Someone in their company was like, dude, put Joey on that and get that shit done.
Yep. Rich get richer. I mean, there's no doubt the rich get richer. It's not any kind of a surprise. It's just, it's unfortunate. I mean, and hey, they didn't make the system. LSAC didn't create the PPP program. It was just a way to get free money from the government. And so they got free money from the government. So I don't know, like, I'm not a hater, I guess. Like, fine, good job, getting free money from the taxpayers.
Yeah.
But whatever. It's just crazy that's what happened with those loans. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, I'll move on to this next email. This is from John Marshall Law School regarding the Flex.
Okay.
The subject says, the LSAT Flex is coming. Here's a free logic puzzle.
What?
Oh boy, I can't wait to see this. Okay. It says, well, I guess we have permission to use John Mark's name. Dear John Mark, did you resolve to make 2020 the year you elevated your education to the next level? Anchored in the heart of Midtown Atlanta, Atlanta's John Marshall. Why do you have to put Atlanta's John Marshall Law School? You just said in the heart of Midtown Atlanta. You could just say John Marshall Law School. You don't need to say in the heart of Midtown Atlanta, comma, Atlanta's John Marshall Law School. Oh, parentheses, AJMLS.
Which they never use again.
So they did it once and then
Oh, I guess they do. They use it one more time. It's
one more
so
time
unnecessary.
Okay.
You're like, what law school are you referring to?
Call it fucking John Marshall like everyone else in the world does. This is similar to UC Hastings College of the Law, which is like everyone calls it Hastings. You don't have to call it all of that. Anyway, we support your dream of joining the noble profession of law and invite you to apply free, all caps there, and take advantage of our fall 2020 free laptop program for incoming students.
Oh my God. That just shows how much their prices are inflated.
That's
they can just
fucking garbage. Free laptop program for incoming students? Come on. If they need a laptop, they can buy a cheap laptop of their own. You don't need to be giving out cheap laptops to everybody and just charging.
Someone thought, they're like, oh, we can buy them in bulk. We'll get them cheaper than they would normally be, and we can hand them out, and people will feel like, ooh, I got a laptop.
It's like getting a free fucking hat or jacket when you buy a car or something. It's like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I buy my own fucking. Oh, God. Okay. In addition to our free laptop program, merit scholarships are still being awarded, and your eligibility will be determined at the time of an admissions decision. The application deadline for fall 2020 is August 6th of 2020.
Oh, wow.
These schools are desperate, man. I think we are going to see, I really do hope this fall we get we need some attrition in the law school business. There need to be fewer law schools.
Yep. This school is giving itself 20 days to accept your application.
That's how desperate they are. Like they are clearly saying, we don't have our class filled. We are in trouble.
Yep.
We will still consider you for scholarships is probably a lie. Well, I mean, we'll consider you. We're not going to give you, but we will consider you for a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not in the position to begin law school this fall, the 2020 application will be available starting September 1, 2020. We welcome your inquiries for both entry dates and invite you to RSVP for one of our upcoming virtual open house events. That's what they really should be doing. Instead of giving away free laptops, they need to be getting on Zoom and talking to people.
Yeah.
Make this the year that you take the first step in adding Juris Doctor to your resume. Your future is now. How are we handling the LSAT?
Is now.
Your future is now.
No, it's not. It's in the future.
I mean, it can't be before September anyway. Like even that's not now. Okay. What's next? Prepare. AJMLS has created its own free logic puzzle for you to practice with. Once you have worked the puzzle, the answers are located on the last page of the document to check your work. Oh my God, I cannot click this fast enough.
And we're tracking your email to see which one of you fails.
This is a PDF.
Oh, it's a PDF. Those idiots. They could have done it as like a
candy shop owner has 6 kinds of candy that need to be placed on a 3-shelf display. We got fruity candy, A, B, and C, and chocolate candy, D, E, and F. Any of the shelves may remain.
Can we just stop here for a half second? They are making the mistake that LSAT made, or LSAC made years ago, back in the 90s, when they used the letters A, B, C, D, and E in the game. Which
no, but they fixed that though, because they changed the answer choices to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5
to numbers. Okay, well, whatever. I can't win.
But we got shelves 1, 2, and 3, and now the answer choices also have 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, they could have just. Okay. Anyway, any of the shelves may remain unoccupied, and they are shelves. Who wrote that? And they are shelves 1, 2, and 3 from top to bottom. The candy placement must coincide with the following conditions. Wait, what? Coincide?
Coincide? Coexist?
What is that? I don't know, but it ain't coincide.
No. How about follow? Comply.
The following must obtain. That's what they should have said. All right. D and F can't be on the same shelf. A has to be on the shelf directly above the shelf that F is on. No one shelf can hold all 3 fruity candy. This is a law school. They put their name on this. E cannot be on the middle shelf. And then we got a bunch of questions. They got their letterhead on the whole thing.
Dude, I guarantee you there's a flaw in here. I bet there's like 2 answers are correct.
I wish I could do it, but I'm not going to do it right now. I got the whiteboard right here. I really want to do the logic game, but instead I'm going to save it for class. I'm teaching class in 20 minutes, so I'm going to do it in class. You can come show up if you want to see me do this. Atlanta's John Marshall Law School game. Anyway, okay, so they made a logic game. And it has many, many typos and bad sentences.
Dude, you skipped the paragraph about the flex. Do we want to read that?
Oh, sorry. How are we handling the LSAT Flex and Fall 2020 applications? The Flex score will be evaluated as your other test scores. Boy.
As is used with a verb, not with a noun.
That needs to be as, the same as, or like as your other test scores will be evaluated.
Yeah. Yep.
Please submit your application early and indicate you are taking a future exam. We will accept the July administration for the fall 2020 cycle, but urge you to still submit your application early. Well, Ain't no early. We're in July right now.
These
Okay.
poor schools, man. They're
No,
gonna they
they're sinking ships. Like they are going out of business.
and they need to. Goodbye.
And
Bon
they
voyage.
should. And they should. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can you submit your free application? Oh, direct through LSAC. Yeah, whatever. Okay, that's from the Office of Admissions. You want to take the next one?
Yeah, I'll take the next one. This is from Gordy. Thanks for writing in, Gordy. Let's see what you have to say. Hello. I'm signed up to take the LSAT Flex on August 29th. Okay. Wow. Gordy must have just sent this in. I'm a student athlete that just graduated from Ohio State, and the athletic department paid for my Kaplan test prep for the past year. Okay, that was a poor move. Waste of money.
Well,
Sorry.
the Ohio State Athletic Department has money, so
Yeah.
that's a poor investment
Still
of
wasted.
the money. But yeah. Yeah.
When COVID arrived, wow, sounds like a house guest. Kaplan extended my test prep to August 31st. I decided to take advantage of the free test prep and sign up for the LSAT in August. I'm planning on playing professional hockey for 2 to 3 years, and then I'm planning on applying and attending law school after. I was wondering if you guys had any advice or insight on how law schools might look at my LSAT score 2 to 3 years from now and see that it is a flex. Do you think this could affect my admission process at all? I really enjoy your podcast, and if I need to take the LSAT again, I'm definitely going to subscribe to the Demon. Thanks, Gordy. Hey, it's interesting. Well, one, if the flex becomes a thing, no one's going to care. And two, I don't know. I think if we go back to normal, which seems unlikely for a while, but if we do, I suspect most people would look at it and go, oh, look at this. It's a flex test taker. That's cool. I don't think they're going to know what to do about it other than just treat it like a score.
There's going to be tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of applicants who have at least one flex on their record.
From some time, yeah.
We've already done it how many times now?
June? No, May, June, and now July. So
May, June, July is happening right now. August is also flex. Ain't no way we're doing real LSATs this fall. The way things are going, not happening.
Yep.
And they, as we talked about earlier, they would be idiots not to keep this online option going. It's just better. So keep it forever. It has to be the solution. So Gordy, on the one, even if the flex goes away, I don't think anybody's going to give a shit that you took the flex. All they care about is the number. Also, I don't think the flex is going away.
Yeah.
Next one.
Cool. Yeah, you got this.
Why are we getting so many hockey emails lately? We've had a semi-pro hockey and now a professional hockey. Okay.
I don't know.
Registering for the LSAT Flex is dumb. That's the subject.
Yep.
Hey, Ben and Nathan. I'm just listening to today's podcast episode and heard you ask if you thought people were having problems scheduling a ProctorU time that works for them. Yes. I logged on to ProctorU within 2 hours of receiving my username password email from LSAC, and there were literally no spots on Sunday or Monday left.
Well, hold up, Jordan. Everyone signed up before they got their username and password.
He goes on to say,
you remember, right? Anyways,
he does. He says it later in the email.
Okay.
The scheduling format is also god awful. So you have to go through and try to select different times of the day in order to see what's available. I went through hour by hour for all 48 hours of July 12th and July 13th and got no times available for every hour of those 2 days.
Wait. They had $5.3 million and they can't tell you what times are available?
Right. With the like we talked about last time.
I guess it's ProctorU.
The default time that shows up is midnight.
Yeah.
And you can't, so like that's already bad. But then what they're doing is they're asking you to pick a time that you would like, and then you hit submit, and then they're like, no time's available. And then you try a different time, and they're like, no time's available. And then you try a different time, no time's available. So Jordan did this 48 times.
Yeah.
The only two openings I was able to find were around 7 a.m. on July 14th or mid-morning on July 11th. Luckily, the mid-morning works great for me, so I'll be taking the test at 10 a.m. on Saturday, which I think they had previously announced that the first day of testing would be Sunday. But weirdly, a bunch of people apparently are taking it on Saturday.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this scheduling issue is because everyone and their brother used the Reddit hack to register early, or if ProctorU just doesn't have the capacity to handle the volume. But I was pretty shocked that the 2 days on which the test was supposed to be officially offered were full within 2 hours of the beginning of signups. Hopefully this will be addressed before August. Love the show. Thanks, Jordan.
Wow. They need to take the money they got and make the online experience badass, and then just go forward with that. Never look back.
Yep, I agree. I think that we should, I hope that we permanently are in the land of the flex. I see no reason why not to. The remote proctors seem to work. I suppose there's ways for people to cheat, but
Yeah.
it's a system that's already designed for cheating, like not cheating on the actual test, but I mean, can they really care that much about cheating if they're also going to be fully happy about charging people extra to see their score before they decide whether they cancel? That's not a thing you do if you give a fuck about justice.
Yeah.
Okay. Pearls versus turds. You ready? You take this one.
Yeah, I'm ready. Hi, Nathan and Ben. My potential pearl. Take practice exams with your webcam light on without seeing yourself. Reasoning. I have pretty severe test anxiety, and I took the June LSAT Flex. Although I was more comfortable taking the test in my own room, it took me a bit to adjust to testing while my webcam light flashed in front of the test. It flashed?
Well, it's just kind of there, isn't it? I mean, you could also get a webcam light that doesn't flash if it literally flashes, but
you aren't able to see yourself or the proctor, and maybe it's just me, but not knowing who is watching you is kind of a weird feeling. I'm retaking the August, most likely a flex, LSAT, and this is my new practice exam proctor for myself. Protocol. Sorry, yeah, protocol for myself. Yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem with it. I don't know if it's a pearl, but I don't mind anyone doing anything that's closer to test day.
I guess it's a thing that you should be aware of. I mean, I'm like, one, can't you just like put a piece of tape over the light or something so you don't have to even see the light? That might be a hack. Although if that also covers up the camera, then that won't work. But I don't know, the light and the camera, I don't know how close they are to one another. Let me see if I cover up the light.
My light is like a light green. Ooh. I don't even really notice it.
If I cover up the light, oh, there it is. I'm covering up the light and I'm not really covering up the camera. So the camera is slightly over there. Yeah, you could do it. I think you could figure out how to do that. You could also come to the proctored practice tests that we have in the daemon. That's even better because then you'll actually have your light will be on because your camera will be on from the Zoom. And you could just put that Zoom window in the background while you do the test. And you'll actually have a real proctor. We do those on Saturdays, by the way. There's a morning one and there's a late one, and there's even a 53-minute section one. LSATdemon.com, by the way, if you want to check out all the shit we keep talking about with the LSAT Demon.
Cool. You got time for this logical reasoning question?
Yeah, if we do it efficiently.
Okay. Yeah, let's jump in. This is test 65. Okay. Yeah, you cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
Test 65, section 4, question 6. I'll just read it. It says, the calm, shallow waters of coastal estuaries are easily polluted by nutrient-rich sewage. I can see that. That makes sense to me. Seems like a fact. When estuary waters become over-nutrified, as a result, algae proliferate. Okay. The abundant algae, in turn, sometimes provide a rich food source for microorganisms that are toxic to fish, thereby killing most of the fish in the estuary. You know, it sounds like a set of facts, and they kind of make sense, and they seem to flow together. So it seems like when you pollute, you end up killing fish. That's my reaction to this passage. You?
Yeah, nutrient rich sounds good. Sewage, of course,
Mhm.
sounds bad.
Yeah,
But
that's a
nutrient
little.
rich, I could be like, oh shit, that might be actually good. Whatever. Hey,
Mhm.
shit is fertilizer, right? So maybe this is good. But they turn around and say, well, thing is, you're going to get algae. Then the algae are going to become these food source for microorganisms that are toxic to fish, bacteria, whatever. And then that's going to kill most of the fish in the estuary. Damn. Okay. It sounds like this pollution is bad because
Yeah.
it's going to kill fish. I'm expecting a must be true question.
Yes, it's just a set of facts. So it seems like that's what they give us, and they do. They said which one of the following can be properly inferred from the information above. Properly inferred means must be true. So what must be true given what was said?
Okay.
A, fish in the estuary that has been polluted by sewage are generally more likely to die from pollution than are fish in an estuary that has been polluted in some other way. I'm going to reject that because I have no idea what happens when it's polluted in other ways.
I would have stopped reading that one somewhere in the middle, somewhere between generally and the end of the sentence.
Sure.
Must be true questions. We need something that's been proven by the facts. I don't know that generally really anything. I mean,
Most of the time. Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
know that sewage can sometimes. I don't know that anything, generally anything.
Cool.
Okay.
B. In estuary waters that contain abundant algae, microorganisms that are toxic to fish reproduce more quickly than other types of microorganisms. Um, Again, it's a comparison that I don't know.
We never say the words out of scope, but if we were going to say the words out of scope, we would probably do that on a must be true question
Mm-hmm.
when we look at an answer choice that brings up new shit.
Yep.
That's what I would say. Brings
I
up new
like new
shit.
shit better because
I
out of
like new shit
scope is
way
like
better than out of
vague.
scope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like vague. People are
It's
like,
like,
oh,
why
no,
are
I
you
can
bringing
throw
up
it
new shit?
down.
I thought we were talking about sewage, estuary, algae, microorganisms killing fish. Why are you bringing up other microorganisms that are not toxic to fish? That was not in the facts. So we can't pick any answer that talks about microorganisms that are not toxic to fish.
Yep,
It's new shit. Okay.
new shit. C, nutrients and other components of sewage do not harm fish in coastal estuaries in any way other than through the resulting proliferation of toxic microorganisms. Well, I didn't need to read all of that. When it says in any other way, like, or any way other than this, it's like, okay, I just don't, again, it's new shit. I don't know about other ways. So,
Yeah. All the other ways that sewage might hurt, I mean, it might hurt them directly. Like it
yeah.
just might have fucking poison in it that kills
Mm-hmm.
fish, right?
Yep.
We don't know. So we can't pick that.
Out. D, algae will not proliferate. Proliferate. I have to work on my pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
Algae will not proliferate in coastal estuaries that are not polluted by nutrient-rich sewage. Huh? We don't know about those coastal estuaries that are not polluted. So again, this is new shit. It's wrong. Better
Yep.
be E. E, over nutrifying estuary waters. We did talk about that. By sewage. We did talk about that. Can result in the death of most of the fish in the estuary. The word most here is strong, but the passage itself said thereby killing most of the fish in the estuary. So
Yep.
it's supported by the passage. This is like essentially restating it. Some people might even not like this answer because they're like, well, the passage already said that.
That's
That's why
exactly
it's
the
a
point.
perfect answer.
That's what we're
Yeah.
looking for. And there is one word there that we love on this type of a question.
Oh,
This is a
yes.
top down, must be true type of a question. There's one word there that really softens it,
Mm-hmm.
which
Can.
is can. Yeah. Yeah. Can means can't possibly sometimes. Well, hey, they told us a whole story about this. So apparently it
Yep.
can happen. And so I'm 100% like, I totally, can vouch for E. And that's how you should feel on these top down questions where it's just like, yep, it's totally supported by the given facts. I don't have to add anything to it. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So the answer is
My
E.
other favorite word like can is, can you guess?
I mean, I really like may.
May. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah,
It's
may,
like, can you
might,
disagree with may?
could. Yep. Any of those kind of now that doesn't, don't take that too far. Some people are going to be like, well, it said can, so I picked it. Like, that's not what I'm talking about.
I remember when you said in the show that if the answer said can or may, it's correct.
No, it's not what we said, but we do prefer a more weakly worded answer. Anything that's too strongly worded is, we're going to be real skeptical of it because the facts have to justify whatever that strong language was. And
Yeah.
it's real easy to prove can. So they gave us facts that this can happen. So we are perfectly happy to vouch for the idea that this can happen. So the answer is E.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. You want to wrap it up there?
Let's do it. You can always join the Thinking LSAT podcast group on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at Thinking LSAT and also at LSAT Demon. On Twitter, it's at Thinking LSAT and Nathan is N Fox. Our class online in Zoom live, also on your own, on your phone, is all at lsatdemon.com. The podcast is at thinkinglsat.com. That was episode 254 of the Thinking LSAT podcast. Thanks all y'all for listening. Nice knowing you. Don't pay for law school.